Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning. Let's get rid of all of these. Sorry about being late. I had set up the wrong time on my feed, but welcome to the show. I am Sri Lankan Sammi in Cebu. Welcome to the live stream. I want to say thank you to everyone who is watching, liking, commenting, sharing. I had a little bit of a illness the last couple of days. I don't want to get into too many details about it because it's not pleasant. But just let's say I cooked some bad meat and it caught me. I kind of smelled. It didn't smell. It just something said this maybe isn't right. And then I ate around 5 o'clock, and a few hours later, yeah, that was it. I knew, and I was like, I made a huge pot of meat pasta, and I just wasted all of it, and even the pasta itself, because I didn't mix it. I keep it separate. I had to throw that out too because I'm not going to eat for the next couple days. I'm just not able to eat. So when I set up the time for this, I set it up wrong. I set it up for an hour ago, and it was supposed to be a walk and talk. I was supposed to be going out and into the street, but I can't get out of bed. I'm just so tired. I finally got a good night's sleep last night, but I'm okay. I'm okay. Drinking lots of coconut water, get those electrolytes back. Not going to the gym today. Just I'm too tired. But I am having friends over. Today is a holiday. It is People Power Anniversary. The People Power Anniversary, I'm going to assume, is the protest. Let's see, which one is this? It is the anniversary of the People Power Revolution. Popular demonstrations in 1986, a civil resistance, a non-violent revolution that led to the departure of Ferdinand Marcos. The famous scene where the press goes into the presidential palace and finds millions of shoes from the wife, like they did in Iraq with the Hussein family. So it's very interesting. It's a very important holiday to the people. So the government is actually thinking of making this a national holiday. It's a holiday depending on where you are. Anyway, I have one class right after this, and then a couple of classes at the end of the day. What time? 7 p.m. So I invited a couple of friends to come and join me at the beach pool. So they're going to come today. I don't know, I'm going to go early and just relax and enjoy the pool area. I don't know if I'm going to eat or drink anything. I still can't. I really want a coffee, but it's too upsetting to my stomach. So I'm just going to take it easy. I can't even. I wanted to have some rice or something. I just can't eat. So, lesson be warned: don't over prepare your foods, because what happened was, I thawed the ground beef, and it's fine. It's in the fridge. It's healthy, but then I was going to cook. I took the food out in the morning to thaw, to get to room temperature, and I left the beef out. It was like 8 a.m. I think, and then I was going to cook it at like 10 because I had time. And then somebody invited me to go. My friend invited me to go out to the beach. A friend of mine, oh, you guys will meet him, Angelo. He invited me to come to the beach. I met him at the pool a week ago, and he just got back from his little adventures in Philippines. And he said he wanted to go to beach. I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll take you." And then I ended up not cooking until evening. So it sat there for like 4 hours, which was the stupidest thing I could have done. I knew it. When I came back, I'm like, "Yeah, it's okay." So I cooked it all. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. So anyway, we're going to talk today about what I've learned in the Philippines. Some of the things I've learned. And let me know, guys, comment please. Let me know, what do you think you can learn when you're, or have you learned when you're outside of your home country? Have you learned some things? What things could you learn? Have you been outside of your home country, semi-retired or retired? And what did you learn? Let me grab something to drink. All right. Cheers. So one thing I learned is buying in bulk is good, but don't overbuy in bulk because you got to freeze it. Don't freeze cheese, like real cheese, because it does not thaw out well. Not in the least does it thaw out well. When it thaws out crumbly and it does not taste good. Especially cheddar cheese. Um, so that's just a joke. So what did I learn? Well, I think the number one thing that I learned is you don't have to be home to be happy. And it's different for me because I am single. I have no family, no kids other than mom and dad. But we have always, mom and dad and I have always had it's a weird relationship. I don't want to say it's a distant relationship, but our family has never been like, "Oh, I love you. Oh, give me a hug. Oh, come here." We just existed. And it wasn't strange. It wasn't unloving. It was different. My parents made my brother and I very independent very early. I can remember at 6 years old just going outside and playing, like not having my parents around. Like today's parents, you see them walking them to the front door of the school and waiting until they walk inside the school because of the fear. And that fear makes today's children feel like they can't do anything on their own. I mean, I'm hearing stories of parents going to job interviews with millennials. That's ridiculous. I went for my first job interview when I was 12 years old, delivering newspapers. I did it all by myself because my parents supported me. And yeah, so that independence, like, kind of, I'm gonna say it's not unloving. It was different. It was a very interesting time. So anyways, guys, I am doing a new live stream. Not new. I've changed the time of my live stream. It is 7 a.m. here in Cebu, and I'm going to be doing it at, I made a mistake. I was supposed to be at 6 a.m. So I'm going to do it from 6 a.m. starting next week. And yeah, starting from next week. I'm going to start doing it at 6 a.m. because I actually have a class at 4 a.m. So 6 a.m. is 10 p.m. in the UK, which is a little late. So 6 a.m., maybe I'll do it at 5 a.m. since I'm going to be up at that hour. Yeah, starting next week, I'm going to start doing it at 5 a.m. local time, which means it'll be at like 8 p.m. in the UK, which will be good for my UK friends and family. I want you guys to participate in this channel. Just making sure I have it. Yeah. So I have a new class that starts next week at 4 a.m. 3 a.m. local time, 4 a.m. Korea time. It's a student I have in Moscow from Korea. He wants 3 times a week. And because it's off hours, I get premium pay. Go ahead with that, eh? Oh, I love it. And here's the thing. I get these moms in the elevator or on the street who, I talk with everybody. And I see them and I'm like, oh, I can hear them speaking and I can hear them speaking and they're Korean. And so I'll speak in Korean. And they're like, oh, and then, I'll explain my story and they're like, oh, you're a teacher. I'm like, yeah, I'm a teacher right now. I teach online. And they're like, oh, can I get your number and you can teach my kids? And I said, yeah, I can do that. But you have to understand that I'm very expensive. I'm not cheap like Filipino. I'm not teaching kids here in Filipino. And they'll say, oh, well, just let me know what your price is. And I do. And it's like, wow. And one of the parents was like, my budget is around 7 to 10 USD an hour. And I'm like, yeah, even at 50% off, that's not even close to what I charge. Because I charge about, depending on the student's level and how much work I have to do, the time, the amount of classes, it's anywhere from 80 to 100 US dollars an hour. Adults are 100 US dollars an hour. Kids are 80 USD an hour. I've gone low as 50, but those were for advanced students that I had no work to do. They just read stories and I corrected their elocution. It was so easy. And the moms knew that, so, I charged them less. Mumu, is it Thomas? I forgot. Brother, I'm so sorry. Darren, good to see you, brother. Good morning to you. It's an early morning for you. And for you in Minnesota, Mumu, it's late evening, early evening. I guess all of us retired folk, we don't really have much work to do. Darren, you're flying to Hong Kong, you said, soon? I'll be back in Sri Lanka in 28 days. Thomas, yeah, geez, man, I'm so sorry. My brain is not 100% today because I'm just so tired, but thank you for the positive comment, dedication. I said I was going to do the live stream and I got to do it because it's a schedule thing. Even my workout, I really want to do a workout, but my body is just so sore and I'm just physically not strong. I'm so tired. For me to go do exercises will be hell. Missouri, sorry, I thought it was Minnesota. I'm going to write this down. Let me write this down because this is ridiculous. I got to start remembering these things. All right. it's different because your tag is Moo, Texas. So that puts me into the mind like you work in the dairy industry or the cattle industry in Texas, but your name is Thomas and you live in Missouri. You know, I think you're the first person I've ever met from Missouri. It's very interesting. Ah, good. Congratulations, Darren. That's excellent. Excellent news. Congrats. You know, with the amount of times that you fly back and forth, I'm pretty sure you have status or points, whichever airline you're going. And did you, would you ever fly that new, I sent you that link. Is it Jetstar or something flying direct from Melbourne to Colombo? I can't remember which airline it was, but I sent you the link and you said you were looking at that. So Thomas, I'm leaving in 28 days. What's it, 28 days? I'm leaving in 28 days, and I am planning on returning July 1, 124 days. So I'll be back in less than 3 months. Ah, cattle ranch in Texas. That probably makes sense. I might come back even in June. It all depends on how soon I wrap up all of my stuff in Sri Lanka, how much money I can make, what is my YouTube earning me. Thank you again for everybody who's supporting the channel by watching. Let me tell you, the watch times are through the roof. You guys are watching my vlogs on average for 10 minutes. You know, and when I look at the analytics, the number of viewers who are subscribers is 80%, with 20% unsubscribed. As I've mentioned to you guys before, I paid a marketing company a lot of money to help me set up my channel 5 months ago, 6 months ago. And they provided a lot of details and a lot of information, and it's a 1-year contract, and part of the money goes towards analytics so that we can fine-tune the channel, the back-end search engine optimization. It's not about what I put out in front, it's what is done in the back end, in the editing, in the underlying code of the video, the description, the hashtags, the keywords, everything that helps the algorithm find my stuff. So they also do a monthly audit of my channel to see what is working, what isn't working, what time to post, how the length of videos, the topics. The topics not as much, because the topics they leave up to me, but they suggest topics. And I follow their suggestions pretty closely. Live streams, you know, so they're constantly giving me feedback. And what they said was they have rarely seen a channel for a guy my age on this topic. Yes, if you were a young, pretty girl with, you know, your cleavage out, and your channel gets monetized in 1 day, right? Darren, that's interesting. You see, the problem with, yeah, you know, with that is that you do have a lot of competition, but Colombo has zero competition, right? Going east, there's only 2 airlines, 3, Singapore, Sri Lankan, and Cathay Pacific. That's it. not that and I don't fly cheap airlines. So for the big airlines, I've looked at the pricing. And the price doesn't change, not even during holidays. The price never changes. Let me use, for example, direct flight from Colombo to Bangkok is one price all year long, even with Thai Air. It doesn't change, even with holidays or stuff. Singapore Airlines, I can't do a direct flight here. I have to do a layover in Singapore for 1 hour, 2 hours. And that price never changes. Doesn't matter what day of the week, doesn't matter anything. So all of these people or all these websites that say, oh, you can get it for this by doing this and booking on Tuesday at 8 o'clock. No, that's only in America. It's only in America or Europe. I'm happy you wear a real shirt in your videos. What do you mean? Like this shirt now, or like in my vlogs that I wear? And what do you mean by real shirt? I only wear collared shirts. I don't like t-shirts. For some strange reason, I don't feel comfortable in a t-shirt. For me, a t-shirt is an indoor shirt or an undershirt. I don't feel comfortable with that. Yeah, and Darren, there are cheap airlines that fly to Colombo. I'm not getting on them. I've flown once a Chinese airline. I'll never do it again. Never do it again. Worst trip I've ever taken. I would rather fly Cebu Pacific on a de Havilland or Dash 8, whatever those little airplanes, turboprop. I would never, ever, ever get on a Chinese airline. I've told Lady Sarah, yes, you can get cheaper flights to Sri Lanka, like for $400, where the price is normally $800. But I never, ever fly them, ever. Just god awful. The worst. You couldn't pay me to fly any Chinese airline. Even if it was business class or first class, you could never pay me to fly a Chinese airline. I will not fly through China. I'll travel to China on an alternate airline, but I will never fly through China on a Chinese airline. Forget about it. Ugh. That's expensive. From Australia. Thomas, I'm sorry, I'm not understanding. In his videos, always looks bad. I don't know what that means. Yeah, 2,000. That's a huge discount, especially for travel like that. Yeah, flying to China on a Chinese airline is not bad, especially if it's a direct flight. But I flew Seoul, Beijing, Colombo. And both going and coming were horrendous flights. Just scheduling, timing, layover, just god awful. God awful. Okay, let me give you an example of what happened. Arrival was at Gimpo. Sorry, departure. Oh, okay, Thomas. I appreciate this. I mean, if you tell me what you're talking about, I'd love to chat about it because it's important to me. Darren, we left. There's two international airports in Seoul. There's Incheon and Gimpo. Gimpo is the smaller airport, and this airline, I can't remember who it was, and it was only 7 or 8 years ago. And first of all, they had no gate, like check-in counter. That was my first thing. So I took a pic, said, I don't even know what my luggage looks like. So I took a picture of it. Then we were delayed like an hour with no explanation. Their check-in counter, first of all, didn't open. There's nobody there. Finally, when we get to the gate, Now this is Korea, so it's efficient. Get to the gate, get on the plane. The plane's sitting there for 45 minutes at the gate. Don't know why, no explanation. We get into the air. We land in Beijing. I do my transit. You have to go back out and then come back in. You have to like recheck in. You have to go through security again. Now, little did I realize I had to pick up my luggage. Nobody told me this at check-in. Now, I've flown for decades. I've never had to pick up my luggage. Which is why I now ask after that trip, my luggage is going straight through? Yes, it is. I just confirmed that because nobody told me at the check-in counter. We go through Beijing and finally I get onto the plane, and at departing Beijing, what happened? We get on the plane. Oh, no, the check-in counter, sorry, the transit area, there's no food. There's nothing. And then the flight was delayed and they said, just wait around the gate. And I said, well, there's no heat here. And I'm wearing like summer clothes because I'm flying to Sri Lanka. So I was wearing like light clothing. And there's like, oh, and there's no heat in the gate count area. I'm like, how long do we have to, oh, we don't know. We get on the plane fine. And I'm pissed because there's nothing to eat. And I was on economy and the food they gave me was like disgusting. And the flight was like, this guy is complaining. And I'm at the back of the plane and I stand up and I said, sit down. And I said to the stewardess, who controls this plane, you or the passenger? He was complaining because of his seat or something like that. And he's just looking at me. I'm like, shut up and sit down and let's go. Finally, we land. I'm waiting for my luggage. Nobody is there to tell us that the luggage is not there. And here's the thing. Let me ask you something. They know if the passenger's on the plane. They know if the luggage and the passenger are not on the plane at departure because they don't let the plane leave with bags on the plane when the passenger's not there. So how can they not tell the arrival people that these bags are not on the plane? So I'm standing at the carousel waiting an hour and a half. Finally, I go, where's my bag? And he says, oh, probably it didn't come. Nobody knows anything. Filled out a form, and I'm supposed to get a credit. Leaving to go back to Seoul. I got my bag like 3 days later. I said, I'm supposed to get a $50 credit or something like that. And they said, oh, okay, yeah, you go. Nobody knows what's going on. I'm running around trying to figure it out. Finally, they give me the $50 in Sri Lankan rupees on the inside of the airport. I can't exchange it. Korea won't take it. It's useless money until I come back to Sri Lanka, which was 2 years later. Yeah, I mean, the airports might be nice, but it was the way the airline was running and nobody knew anything what was going on. They were a very bad airline. That's why I love Emirates, Singapore Airlines, Cathay Pacific. The people there are just lovely. The workers. I mean, I had a 55-minute transit in Singapore. And the stewardess comes up to me and says, sir, you have a very tight transit, but we already know, and we've already taken steps to ensure that you make your connection. Your bags will be offloaded and put on the new plane. No problems. And we have a cart waiting for you at the gate. You will be first off, and will ensure that you arrive at your flight on time. They're waiting for you. And I'm like, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. It's not a problem, sir. It's part of our service. Blah, blah, blah. I absolutely love Singapore Airlines. Oh, I will never fly economy ever again. It's the one time in 20 years I've done it. Other than flying domestic in the Philippines. But Philippines also has a problem with airlines, is that it's predominantly a monopoly between Philippine Airlines, PAL, and Cebu Pacific. And people are complaining right now that Cebu Pacific pricing domestically is very high. It's cheaper to fly outside of the country than it is to fly domestically. People are complaining about that. Anyway, guys, we can only do 55 minutes because I have a class after this. So I want to thank you, everyone who's joining. What else have I learned in the Philippines? I've learned that having social interaction is key to your mental health. I talk about this all the time. I talk about stress of living, stress of family, stress of health, stress of finances. What I neglected to think about is that we are human beings, and as a human being, you need social interaction to maintain your positive mental health. I never really touched on mental health because it's different for different people, and it's a complex topic. But for me, what I've learned on this trip, as we're coming to the end, is that the fact that I can go outside every single day and meet new people, new friends every day because I'm in a tourist area. And being that I look like a tourist, it helps. If I could do it in Sri Lanka, but I would look like a local. They would automatically assume I'm a local. And I like being a tourist. Sri Lanka was just voted one of the top 5 places to retire in Southeast Asia for non-luxury. Well, you can get luxury, but not budget living, but cheap retirement. And that's true. But the difference between Sri Lanka and here is that the beaches there are just, I've said it before. I love to go into the ocean every day. I do. When I'm down at the pool, I'll walk over to the beach, jump in the ocean, swim around, and then come back. To swim in the ocean like that in Sri Lanka, I would have to be in the south or in the north or northeast side. And that's away from my home, and it's expensive, and it's far from infrastructure and medical stuff like that. Here, I'm 7 minutes away from a major hospital. I'm 10 minutes away from an international airport. And 40 minutes away from downtown Cebu. So, yeah, there's that, right? I have not started a Facebook page for my channel. I have my personal Facebook page, but I don't post on there. I have Facebook, Instagram, which are copies of each other. The only reason I have Instagram is for messaging. Lots of people in Southeast Asia use Instagram or Facebook for messaging. I have WhatsApp, I have Line, Kakao. I don't have the Chinese one, and I don't have the Russian one. Telegram and the Chinese one, I can't remember the name of the Chinese one. Maybe Darren, you can tell me. And yes, the ocean is great on the north or on the east, but in the south and in the west, it's not blue. It's It's not Bali blue or which is what I want. And I said I like to go swimming in the ocean. If I can't go swimming in the ocean, what's the use of living next to the ocean? Like your place, can't go in the ocean. Even Nagumbo Beach, I can barely. In the 20 to 40 years I've been coming to Sri Lanka, and in the 4 years, 5 years I've been living there, I have never been in the ocean in Nagumbo. In Mount Lavinia, maybe once I've gone in the ocean. But when I went to the East Coast, yeah, you can swim in the ocean. You can swim out. And in the North, absolutely. When I went to Jaffna, you can swim out, no problem. But that's what I want. I want ocean. I want blue water. If I can't have it, that's the point. I can reduce the music, but part of the, and here's the thing. You say you can't hear me, but when I listen to my playback, when I listen to the videos, when I come back tomorrow and I watch this and people say, I can't hear you, I listen for that and I'm like, I can hear it. So I'm curious as to what setup you have, because I have it at barely 0. So for example, when I'm editing my video, I put it at 140% and the music at 6%. There's no way you can't hear me. So I'm very curious as to when you say you can't hear me, as to what is your setup, right? Are you listening on headphones? Are you listening on your computer, on your laptop speakers? Are you listening on your TV? How are you listening to this? What is your audio setup? It is very confusing to me because I studied sound production in high school and college. I know about video processing and audio processing. So it very confuses me when you say things like that. You're not the only one, but thank you for commenting. I appreciate it. You're not the only person who said it. I've had a few other people say it. And I find that weird because I'm watching the live stream right now. So this is the camera and this is the app I'm using, and I'm watching the feed, the live feed, and it looks perfect to me and it sounds perfect to me. So this is very strange. And I'm watching it right there. You can hear it. You could hear that on the other side there. So I don't know. I have a professional setup though. That's the thing. I have quality monitors. I have quality studio speakers. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. I have fiber internet. I have a supercomputer processor. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm trying my best. Okay, I'm trying my best. I have to play music in the background because the way the algorithm works is that the more layers there are in a video, the YouTube algorithm processes it as a higher quality video. So that's why I have this frame in the background. That's why I have that. That's why I have the comments on the bottom. That's why I have the background, as you can see right here. It looks like I'm flying through space or something like that. All of these layers adding on top add to the level of complexity for the algorithm. Rafiqat, thanks a lot, brother. Let me tell you something. Loving your support. Thank you so much. Every time I see you commenting, I know you're watching, and I hope you're enjoying the vlogs. Thank you so much. Oh, Thomas, I saw your post. It was held. in because because of the comment you made, it was held back. I know who you're talking about, and I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. I have some. We're not going to talk about it. So this is just a joke between me and him. He knows what I'm talking about, and I know what he's talking about. Anyway, um, what else have I? What else have I learned? Um, I've learned to not um, always be on um, vacation mode. That you need to live like a local. And when I come back, also now, I mean, my last month, I'm going to be doing budget videos a lot in the next month in March. Um, you need to watch the funds going out. It's very easy to spend money here, especially living in this area because it's higher priced. Everything here is higher priced. You know, you go for a beer at the beach bar and it's like 200, 300 pesos. It's like $6 you can get it for $2 out on the street. You know, food is ridiculously expensive there. So luckily, I'm not going to eat today because I'm still not 100%. So, um, Thomas, thanks for, but don't post anything because just don't want to get involved in that. All right, so don't post anything here. Um, Luckily, it got held. Okay, so please let's keep it nice. Okay. um, so yeah, there's my alarm. I have to get ready for my next class. I started late, so I'm really sorry about that, guys. So next week we are going to start at 1 hour earlier, or sorry, actually, we're going to start 2 hours earlier. We're going to start at 5:15 Korea time, which means 5:15 Korea time is 8:15 in the UK. 2:15 for you, Thomas. Thanks for joining in the afternoon, by the way. And 7 a.m. for you, Darren. So this is predominantly for my my European um, subscribers to watch in the evening. And I know that most of you are retired or not working full time or what have you. But I want to find the time that is best for everyone. Okay, so we're going to start at 5:15 a.m. Korea time, which is 4:15. Jeez, I got to wake up at 3 a.m. next week, which means I got to go to bed early Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Ugh. What I do for money. Anyways, guys, I want to say thank you so much for joining me today for this live stream. First time, let me know if the time is good for you. What time is good for you? let's wrap up by saying some of the things I've learned on this trip is to live a lot slower, to take care of your mental health and your physical health. Working out has been incredible. I'm missing the fact that I'm not going to be able to work out today. I just don't have the strength. And it's a back and shoulder day, which is one of the hardest days I have. Leg day, I love. So what I'm going to do is maybe I'll work out tomorrow. I don't have the time tomorrow because tomorrow's a full work day. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 hours of work tomorrow. It's ridiculous. Well, I moved 2 hours of classes from today till tomorrow, so I could have today off. So what I'll probably do is I'll get up early and work out tomorrow morning if I feel better, or I'll just rest and do a cardio day tomorrow. And then Friday, I will get back to my regular and then do a double workout on Saturday or Sunday, cardio workout, just to get my strength back. I'll skip one day. I'll skip my shoulder and back day today and do leg day on Friday, or just skip leg day. I'll skip leg day, or I'll do a double workout on Friday. I'll do back and shoulder and legs. I have time on Friday. But we have got 10 beautiful days of weather, so I have to make sure that I take advantage of that and enjoy this sunny, beautiful weather. Guys, I want to say thank you to you for joining me, for hanging around, for being so supportive and so kind. Keep up the great work watching the vlogs. I truly appreciate it. I'm Sri Lankan Sammi, Sammi in Cebu. Remember, learn to live life. Don't let life live you. Be good to each other, be kind, be helpful, be supportive. And remember, we're not strangers. We're just friends who haven't met yet. Oh, by the way, I met a subscriber of the new channel last week. And looking forward to meeting him on the 15th after he returns from his trip around Philippines. Nick, and great man, much older than me, in his 80s, and really excellent guy. We had fun hanging out and having coffee earlier in the week, and looking forward to meeting up with him. And I'm going to interview him on the channel for like a perspective, a new person's perspective on retirement. That'll be very interesting. Stick around for that, guys. We'll see you all on the other side.